What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another live stream here on the Sergeant Tank YouTube channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. We have another live stream back to back. We had one last night. Now we have another one for you guys. And who knows, maybe another one tomorrow. So with that being said, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to get right to the special guest this evening. We will get to your guys' chat. I will make sure that I take note of any specific questions that you guys have. So thank you guys, as always, for the support. Be sure to like, subscribe, all of that jazz that you do on YouTube. And I want to turn the camera over because you guys have no idea who it is. And it is Mike with Mass Aquariums, also the co-founder of My Aquarium Box. So the floor is all yours, my man. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself in case they don't already know who you are.
What's up, guys? What's up, Maple? Fish Topic. Jeff Rawes has got the wrench. I hope I'm saying that right. Games at 1. Aquaholic Fish. What's up, everybody? Mike from Mass here. Mass Aquariums. My boys got me on tonight. And what do I have to say? I'm from Massachusetts, and I love to keep fish. I have no clue what you guys are up to on a Wednesday night at 10 o'clock East Coast time. Probably in dinner on the West Coast, but who knows? Maple Street. Jeff and who's here tonight? We got 15 people watching. Let's get some more people watching. Let's get a like on this and let's get a share.
We just want to, I mean, this is bringing us back old school Sergeant Tank, Jeremy with you guys here. I mean, this is what I used to do. We used to just hang out, have fun. It's not really a topic driven thing tonight. We just, you know, I didn't know what other title. I'm just being completely honest with you. I didn't know what other title to even put in there. But I thought it was an appropriate thing since we all are a bunch of fish nerds, of course, here on the channel. At least that's what I would think. But why don't you tell us a little bit, Mike, with regard to the My Aquarium Box? Can you kind of tell us its origins and kind of what it's all about in case people don't know?
Yeah, no problem. So I've been in fish keeping for like 30 plus years, and my wife gets this box. It's Stitch Fix. You just like plug in a bunch of things. What do you like? You know, your weight, all this crap. And then seasonally, just about every month, they send you a bunch of clothes and jewelry and shoes and whatnot. And you pay for the service, but you keep what you like and you pay what you like. And I called Greg one day and I was like, hey, dude, I have to give you this idea. I want to do a subscription box for fish keepers, but they don't get to return the stuff. We send them a bunch of awesome stuff every month. And by the way, we've been going for almost 3 years and we have never repeated a box. And they get to try it out with their tanks. Maybe they put it aside and they need it later. They don't have the option to send it back. But he's like, that sounds kind of cool. Give me a little while. And then like 2 weeks later, he came back to me with this like 20-something page business plan. And at the time, MA Fish Guy was involved and Aaron's Aquariums. And then, you know, as it evolved, you know, certain people decided they didn't want to have anything to do with it. And 3 years later, we're still here. We're going strong. We're improving, and it's awesome.
Right on. Now, if somebody such as a business, a company, whatever the case might be, I'm sure people might even, and I myself, I'm just purely curious, how does one go about getting in contact with you or Greg if they wanted to potentially have the opportunity to offer a product in the My Aquarium Box?
Yeah, they could just email us at myaquariumbox@gmail.com. Super simple, straightforward email. You can CC everybody that is involved in it, and then just sponsorship could be the subject line, I would guess. But we read all the emails.
Sure. And any particular motivation that you've had in the last couple of years since, and you've been on YouTube for a long time. I know that you've seen a lot of changes happen on the platform, as a lot of us have, and especially somebody that's been on the platform such as yourself for quite a long while. And how do you feel at this point in the last year or two, since there's been changes on the platform? Kind of like, tell me your thoughts.
YouTube in general for me was a place to unwind. Like yourself, I have a lot of kids. I have 4 children, and my wife's a nurse, like your wife, and she worked nights, and then you can't leave the house because you have children in the house. So it's not like you can go out, so you're stuck at home. And that's when I found YouTube. And it was super simple, super easy, a way for me to connect with people while stuck in my house. And I never even thought I would get like 25 subscribers. I was talking to my father and my mother. I was like, hey, subscribe to this. Here's the link, whatever. But YouTube was always a way for me to escape while I'm stuck at home, basically. And I never really thought I would get even 100 subscribers, never mind whatever I'm at right now. But nowadays, it's so weird. Like, you grind at YouTube and you get to a certain point and you just, you try to put out good content. But in reality, it's all been done. Like, there's no new content really you can put out there for everybody, because I would say about 5 to 8 years ago, even maybe, yeah, probably about 5 to 8 years ago, there was stuff worth watching. Now it's just reiterated by every single channel out there trying to make a name for themselves. Even if they have something good to talk about that nobody's talked about, it's like almost you can never get noticed because it's just saturated with dog shit, really. You could have the best possible way to breed a certain fish and the best conditions, and the video could be something that would help the masses, but you're never going to get noticed because I think personally YouTube is just saturated with dog shit.
Yeah, I agree with
including
you.
Myself.
Oh yeah,
I'm not excluding myself either.
Sure.
Sometimes I put up videos that are absolute dog shit, and it's just what it is.
Sure. And that, I know for me personally, that is one of the things that I wanted to do differently. And I can honestly say I don't watch a lot of aquarium related content. I never even came to YouTube in order to, and I'm not trying to say this in an arrogant way. I, as like yourself, have been in the hobby for many years. I didn't come to YouTube in order to necessarily, I came here to just have some white noise in the background because I always enjoyed live streams. And that was something that I used to watch, years back. And it wasn't so much the video aspect to me, but there's been so many changes you see, especially from a cinematography point of view. And I'm not dogging on that, but I'm more about education. I'm more about trying to inspire people. That's just my thing. When it comes to video, it sucks. I know it. From an audio point of view, and I understand all of these things. What is, like, from what you've seen, and I know that you've already touched on this a little bit, but one thing that just kind of irritates you now that you see on YouTube? I mean, is just one thing that just every time you see it, you're just like, man.
That's a touchy subject because while I love, like, I watch I watch a ton of YouTube, and not just fish keeping stuff. I watch all sorts of. I like outdoor survival stuff. Stuff on nature and animals, Discovery Channel, National Geographic type of stuff. Like, I watch a lot of that stuff. I guess when you're done, you've exhausted the YouTube market of how-tos, DIYs, species spotlights on all the aquariums and how to do this and how to set up this, like, what category do you fall in at that point? And then it's just rhetorical on what videos you can even put up. You just have to be entertaining and hope people watch you. Try to figure out something new to do or a new way to do it. It's really frustrating. But when you're grinding at it all the time and you see, like, I'm a open book. When you see new channels that just, these kids that are just so hyper and they're just like all like fired up, and then just like boom, they're like at 10 subscribers and they're at like 1 million subscribers. It's that's frustrating when you try to put out good content. By no means is editing good content for me, but
Sure.
you know,
And
something educational, and you see these just like these guys just so quickly, no matter how much you grind, they're just like flying right up there.
And I think it's one of those things that really comes down to people understanding their analytics, and that's just basic information. Of course, it's offered via YouTube, is looking at the demographics and age group. Majority of my age group, biggest percentage is anywhere between 25 and 60. You know, it's a lot of those new channels that come on. If I ask that question to them, could they legitimately tell me exactly where the demographics is coming from, what the bulk of the U.S. or if it's Europe or Canada, wherever country it is, what is your highest ranking video that you have? Just because you have a video that has, you know, 1 million views on it, and you have another video that maybe only has 1,000 views on it, the one with 1 million views, is that really gaining you more revenue than the one with 1,000? And those are a lot of things that just kind of irritate me as new, and it irritates me because I did that. I was one that just jumped right into it, but I didn't ever jump into it from the standpoint of never once have I ever, in all the time that I've actually been putting out, and even before I started putting out video content, and I've been on the platform now for quite some time, to go to somebody's channel and be like, hey, can you sub me? Can you do this? Can you do that? I just showed up. And that's why I tell people all the time, you know, I'm all about the youth. I got 4 kids myself, of course. I'm not knocking on that. I'm not knocking anybody in particular. But I'm glad that you brought it up, because it's frustration to me as well, and probably other folks, is we all have to get to some point. Unfortunately, at this stage in the game, I used to discourage me when I used to see people grow, especially those that I've provided some insight to in the past. I'm not saying that I'm the go-to resource by any means. Never will claim that. It took me a long time, you know, almost every day for the last year straight. All I've been doing is listening, educate myself as far as YouTube, and then if I ever decide to get a little bit more serious with it from a video and editing point of view, then at least I'll have that basic understanding to then better myself here on the platform. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a touchy subject. You know, I just seen somebody in a live stream this evening that was talking about, hey, can you check out, it wasn't me, but can you check out the channel? I did check out the channel. It looked like a younger individual. That's where I don't get as irritated. Now, if it's like an adult, something like that, then that does, I know it frustrates me a little bit more. I'm a little bit more forgiving, I guess you would say, for the youth. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you have any more thoughts on it?
I just say go after it. Do something you like to do. If you want to put it on YouTube, that's only because it's for myself. Like, I go on YouTube because it's a way for me to express myself. How do I say it? Like, I got nothing to do, you know? My wife's at work. The kids are in bed. I got 1 million things to do, but now this is where my platform is, to like talk to people and try to educate them. And I mean, I'm 38 years old. I've been in the hobby for 30 years. I don't know everything, but I don't claim to know nothing. You know, I just hope people can get some insight to everything I have to offer. And I've always been an open book. I've always showed everything negative I've done, everything positive, how to help, what to avoid. I just, now it's more of like, I see people. So, okay, I know. And this is clearly all my videos. I'm like a rambling man. The frustration that I can't stand is like, every once in a while you have to put out a video, right? Just to be relevant. But most of the time you put out videos that have something that people want to see. But when you just put out videos just to put out videos, and you don't care about the fish, and you don't care about what you're doing, you don't care about the system you're building for your fish. You're just like putting out videos with a live animal just to get AdSense revenue, then it's like, it's annoying. And I will never name anybody's names or any of that crap. I just think like fish keeping is like such a small, like it's like this big. Okay. So if you think you're gonna make it big like Joey, or there's like one person in the world that's gonna make it big in the fish keeping YouTube community, and it's Joey. But all these little guys out there, like if you're gonna put a fish video out, make it interesting. If you can, make it educational. If you can. Other than that, like the annoying post every single day for AdSense revenue with stupid thumbnails and all that crap, and I'm guilty of it. I am. It's getting annoying, and I can see how saturated it is.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I can make one hell of a thumbnail. I mean, there's even people here in the chat. I've made some. I always tease because I make other people free thumbnails, but it's just kind of a side hobby thing that I enjoy to do. I like making goofy thumbnails, but not clickbaity to the point where, which I think is kind of where what you're talking. If I'm tracking with you, it's kind of like has nothing to do with the video at all. Like, and I know that there is some channels just to prove a point, do that intentionally just to prove a point. Like you only clicked on it, even though it has nothing to do with it, ends up showing like hamsters or guinea pigs or something like that. It has nothing to do with fish keeping. But not that I've come across that myself, but I think it'd be probably kind of humorous. But enough of the rants, you guys. Again, I appreciate it. I'm just now focusing here on chat, and I see that Mike himself went ahead and put a $20 super chat and said, "Preach." Well, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it. So we got Dang Tanks in the house, Candy Overhauls, Valley Fish, Games at 1. Do what you enjoy, make friends, and the people will follow. 100% agree. It's all about community. I agree 100%. I wouldn't be... my videos haven't got me here. It's definitely community based. It's being engaged in the community. And I'm not saying I hope that anybody that creates content legitimately, if that's what their intention is, to bring legit content to the platform, not just clickbaity type stuff, and they have no clue how to even keep fish alive. But I hope that I bring some sort of value, and I'm sure every one of us here do. We got Priscilla in the house, Jeremy H. Let's see. We got Kevin, KG Cichlids. How you doing, buddy? Fish Tropic, Jamie McDonald. So a lot of familiars in here. Bring your questions in. And let me, I have Mike here with Mass Aquariums again. Anybody just joining us, thank you so much for kind of a very late scheduled live stream here today. And I appreciate Mike joining me. And we're just here to hang out with you guys and talk. We can try to get back on a little bit more on topic as far as fish keeping. But hey, if you guys enjoy the rant type of stuff, I got much more up my sleeve. Trust me. I plan on devoting an entire live stream one day, letting people. Pretty much, I'm going to start schooling when it comes to fish keeping. Where it'll be pretty much a live stream where the gloves are off. And it's nothing directed towards me. Just I see too much of a lot of stuff happening, then it's really starting to drive me bonkers. Not just on YouTube, but just across the platform, especially as this hobby continues to grow.
Two more, and I'm giving away my aquarium box.
All right. So 2 more, if we can get
to 30.
30. So we're at 28. Mike is generous enough, and I had no idea with this, you guys. He's generous enough to go ahead and not only one, but 2 My Aquarium boxes. So if you guys have any additional accounts out there,
there we go.
I know what you guys do. All right. So what do you want to do? How do you want to do this? You want them to guess your favorite fish, and whoever guesses it first gets the box. Now, just to clarify
first of all,
real quick, is this U.S. only?
U.S. only.
Okay.
Right. And I would say, yeah, my favorite fish. Oh, I don't got you. I don't got any volume anymore.
All right. While he's working that out, so you guys heard it first.
All right, I gotcha.
All right. So I'm gonna switch the camera back over to you. All right. So your favorite fish, I think, is where we left off.
Yes. Now it's gonna be my favorite. It doesn't have to be an aquarium fish, but whoever guesses my favorite fish first gets some my aquarium box. Simple.
All right, you guys. Well, you heard it.
Yeah. So Priscilla looks like she has it right away.
She's been watching your content.
Yeah, the bass. That's right. Look at that. And then Mr. D's Tanks and More got it like right after her, so they probably got it right in time. And then Dang Tanks got it right after that. Well, so that was quick. Super quick. Priscilla, you've got a My Aquarium Box. I hope you live in the U.S.
She does. What she said, winner chicken dinner. So
Winner bass fillet dinner.
So I think you plan on doing another one, and whenever this is his call, you guys. I mean, if he stops, I mean, it could be 5 minutes from now, it could be 25 minutes from now. So
Actually, we'll just make it easy. Priscilla gets one, and then Mr. D's Tanks and More, since it was like literally the second one.
Right
I'll
on.
just give them both to My Aquarium Box.
Well, congratulations to both of you guys. Let me know, Mr. D's. I can't remember if you're in the U.S. or not. I'm assuming you were guessing that you are. I just can't remember, so forgive me.
Yep. Oh, Huckleberry. Ease up, son. Relax. Sit.
All right. Ohio. So they're both in the U.S. Right on. Well, congrats, you guys.
All right, perfect. So
All right.
that's two. Easy peasy.
All right. So a question that was in here earlier, and you might have already answered it. In case not, now with the My Aquarium Box, is that a U.S. only subscription or?
Yes. We had a UK division, but the market just wasn't there, and right now it's US only for My Aquarium Box.
There's that question.
Plus, it's very tough to ship stuff across the border when it's liquids and foods.
Absolutely.
People don't realize the hoops you have to jump through to get that stuff to a different country, because they don't know what it is. They don't know it's bloodworms. This could be the plague coming into their country.
It could be. All right, I'm just scrolling up here in chat. I don't see any other questions. All right, you guys, bring those questions in. We're just going to keep things rolling on until I see another question come in. So, all right, can you talk a little bit about that beautiful aquascape that you have going on right behind you? The one that I'm always mesmerized with every time that you're doing a live stream.
Oh, you do like that one?
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
That is just a simple 40-gallon breeder that I was sponsored by Marineland. They sponsored literally everything: the stand, the tank, the hood, and then Fluval sponsored the heater and the filter. And I wanted to do sand substrate, inert substrate, where the only thing you can add to it is root tabs to make it work, and just kind of focus on a certain area. And then it just got junglified and took over itself. And then I was able to like trim and get it to where you want it to go. That's almost like, I think one of the best ways to do it is just to have the tank get overgrown, and then you can trim it down to like the aquascape that you want. But it's kind of just, I'm just letting it go right now, actually.
No, it looks good, man. Yeah, every time I see it, really nice growth. I love the dimensions to it. Yeah, you did a good job with that one.
Thank you.
And I know it
Appreciate
doesn't do
that.
it justice looking at it on video because I know it's like 100 times better, I'm sure, in person.
Oh yeah, everybody's tank,
Oh, it is, yeah.
yours, mine, and everybody in between. When you look at it right there in the wherever it is, you're like, wow, this looks awesome right now. And then even if you put a film to it, does not do it justice. You got to be there.
All right, so a great question, one that I was actually going to bring up, but let's see here. All right, so with regard to the aquatic experience coming up here, I'm disappointed I'm not going to be able to make it, but I hope that you guys get a lot of good video and pictures and stuff and share that out. But the aquatic experience coming up here in more your neck of the woods in New Jersey, can you kind of walk us through that? One of the specific questions was with regard to, are you doing like any giveaway bags or anything like that?
Honestly, Greg Jones, My Aquarium Box co-owner, go visit him at Greg Jones online. He's got that all figured out. I just go with the flow. Whatever he tells me to do, I do. We will have a booth at Aquatic Experience for the second year in a row. We will have tons of stuff on sale, foods, driftwoods, aquascaping supplies. We'll be giving away a ton of boxes, a ton of subscriptions. We'll have t-shirts, like, it's a convention, and we will have an awesome booth just like we did last year in Chicago. And I hope you guys can come and visit us there. I am absolutely looking forward to it, even though I'm not looking forward to it. Anybody who knows me knows I do not like to leave my house, but I will be leaving my house to go to the Aquatic Experience. And there's going to be a YouTube booth and all that jazz, and we're all going to be talking to each other, and
Right on.
it's
Yeah,
going to be fun.
Great opportunity for any of you guys out there. I mean, if you're talking about network, if people are in here and legitimately trying to grow a YouTube channel and they have semi-decent content, and you have like almost like a business plan. You have to look at it as a business here on YouTube if you want to strive, and it's all a mentality thing anyway. To me, it's just purely a hobby at this point. I don't want to even get to that point. I got enough on my plate as it is. But as he mentioned, the YouTube booth, I encourage you guys to go. I spent the last couple of years at the Aquatic Experience when it was in Chicago, which is only about 3 hours from us, 3.5, give or take. And it's a great opportunity, but it's like a 13-hour trip one way, and it's just not justified physically, emotionally, financially. Have people keep asking if we're going to be able to make it, and my wife and I, when I say we, but yeah, so I hope that you guys definitely enjoyed it. Sounds like it's going to be a phenomenal turnout. I'll be very surprised to see foot traffic wise that versus where it's been in Chicago.
The last year when we were in Chicago, I thought it was pretty packed. I liked the crowd going through it. This year in New Jersey, close to New York and the East Coast, I'm on the East Coast. Huck, sit. Sorry.
Oh, good.
I'm on the East Coast, and I can see a ton of people coming. There's already so many people that are on the East Coast that are, a couple 100 miles from me or 50 miles from me that I've never even met, but I've watched their YouTube channels. I've been in contact with them via Facebook or texting or emails or this or that. And it would be the same if like you were going to be there. Like I'd be like psyched to see you. I'd be like, okay, now I know this guy.
Yeah.
And I can go talk to him, because I do not like to talk to people at all. I'm
Sure.
very good at it, but I prefer to just like be in my own home, like, and go nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm the same way. I mean, I don't honestly go out too much. I mean, any of my family knows at this point, when I was on your channel and did a live stream, I shared a little bit about the background there. But yeah, from an emotional point of view, people think that I'll definitely be more of an extrovert. I mean, that happened more in middle school. growing up before that, even up to about freshman year, I was definitely more of an introvert in the sense, I mean, I was very secluded and very shy. I learned to kind of get over that as I went through middle school, once I got into high school. And even now, I mean, going through what I've been going through, I'm the same way. I'd rather just honestly be at home, be in the comfort of my fish rooms and do what I enjoy to do. Because the only time I get out of the house, if it's something obviously where I doctor's appointment, you know, common sense things like that with kids. But other than that, as far as like any activities, I, yeah, I had no interest in squat besides going to either my local club, unless it's fish related, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm just rambling at this point. Unless it's fish related, I don't do it. I mean, my family know at this point, and they probably, I mean, they're used to it. It's been over, you know, about seven plus years now. That I've pretty much, unfortunately, kind of got to that point in my life where it's just like, you know, I, even with family, friends, yeah, I don't really. So this here is a family, you know, the community. I enjoy that kind of stuff because anything else, that's why I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. Gets my mind off from all the other stuff because when I'm not thinking or engaged, and I don't know if that's the same thing with you, but if I'm not engaged, that's why I love breeding fish because it keeps me engaged. It keeps my mind off from stuff. So, but I mean, any other hobbies for you besides fish keeping?
Well, I have lots of hobbies. I love to fish. That's it. That is catch fish, whether it's freshwater or saltwater. I'm very close to the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean in Massachusetts. I'm about 30 minutes away or less if I go Rhode Island or the Cape. I love to camp. I love to golf. Big golfer. I love to spend time with my family. I love anything that has to do with plants. I actually am about to, uh, make public a video I did tonight. Anything that has to do with plants, whether it's indoors or outdoors, getting your hands in the dirt, and I love planting everything. Doesn't even matter if it's fruits, vegetables, party time, or aesthetics wise, hanging. I just love all that stuff. Love being in the dirt and in nature. That's my big passion.
Right on. See, I used to do a lot of fishing, a lot of hunting. I was an avid hunter. So I just hobby. That was my two things. I was either working in the woods or in the aquariums. That was it. Especially when fall time came around, because of course, you know, November 15th, it was too hard for me physically to draw. So even using the crank, excuse me, like even with the I'm dying over here. I don't even think I even put the camera on me either. Anyway, sorry. But with a compound bow, because they are legal, I could essentially, because of my handicap, get one. And that's what people encourage me to do, to at least get back out in the woods. But it's more the terrain aspect of it, because I wasn't fortunate enough to have any type of private land. It was all public. And of course, when I go out on public land, or when I used to go out on public land, I would go a mile back in the woods as far as I can go into the thick of the thick. And I mean, I grew up outdoors. That's all I ever did. I wasn't inside. We didn't have cable growing up. I mean, I was an outdoors kind of guy. Yeah, I definitely miss it for sure. Now, I know for me being here, of course, having the Great Lakes around us, I know one of my favorite fish growing up, not only to eat, but just to catch in general, was perch.
I love perch.
What is your favorite? I mean, if you could.
Yellow perch.
Okay, right on.
I mean,
That
there's
was
only
without
one.
hesitation.
You can catch them all day long, whether you're just jigging out of a hole and you find that honey hole and you're just pulling yellow perch like crazy. But when I was growing up, believe it or not, in Massachusetts, my dad we would go ice fishing and we would catch tons of fish, bass, pickerel, perch, whatever. We'd save the perch for ourselves. we would fillet the pickerel and the bass and give them to the guys at the mobile station, which would in turn give my dad free coffee on his way to work. You know, this was like in the late 80s, early 90s. But we would friggin' fry up yellow perch in Crisco with lemon pepper, and like this is I can just imagine eating this. It's so sweet. I love yellow perch. And I'm trying to get my kids to, when we catch a perch, they're like, oh, look at how cool this fish is. I'm like, do you want to save it and eat it, or do you want to throw it back? They're like, I'm not eating that thing, and they just huck it back.
Sure. Because I spent a lot of time too, and it was kind of surprising to me when I used to be more involved locally here as far as community and stuff like that. Not fish related. But one thing I used to enjoy doing is taking youth and teaching them about hunter safety and all of that stuff and the importance of gun safety. But yeah, I mean, I used to love. I even got to the point where I could actually call in squirrel, which was quite difficult to do, not only by hand, and I'm not going to do it. So nobody even asked me to. I haven't done it in years, and it would sound ridiculous over the microphone anyway. But you can literally use your hand in order to mimic a squirrel, especially if they're in distress or in breeding mode. And then, you could literally call them in. Because I remember a few years back, it was one of my favorites to go out squirrel hunting because of the challenge. And I would take out my 22 long rifle, and I did have a scope, even though I could shoot pretty good open sight. But with a scope, because of long distance, I mean, I was dropping them one shot at 100 125 yards easily. But then I even gotten to the point of doing taxidermy work. Actually, I have 2 squirrels still in my possession that I did taxidermy work on. I ended up calling a taxidermist. Did a lot of studying. Did a lot of course, at that time, YouTube was available, so I did a lot of YouTube videos. That's one thing I actually did. Is I looked at different YouTube videos, looked at a lot of literature online. And then I just decided I want to take all the information that I've learned, and now I really want to ask an actual taxidermist. So I called one of my local taxidermists, and the first thing they said is, do you realize what you're getting into is one of the most difficult to do because of the hide is so fragile. And, no disrespect to anybody that's not into hunting, but it's just one of those things I'm a firm believer on. I probably wouldn't make it through a day and a half without having some form of meat. My wife, my kids know this. If I don't have legit actual protein in my body, not processed protein, but actual protein, meat, I get very, very angry. Very, leave me alone. Gotta have it in my system. But anything like that for you? Did you ever get into doing... I never did taxidermy work as far as with fish. I've looked into it a little bit, but I know that it's very, very, very challenging.
Well, I mean, nowadays they just... my first fish I stuffed when I was about... I think I was like 11 or 12 years old. They actually stuffed the fish and taxidermied the whole thing. Nowadays, you just take a picture, you take the measurement, the length, and the weight, and then they just... make a fiberglass. It's fake. They make a fake stuff. You don't stuff the fish anymore. You just take a picture and let it go, which is good. It's sustainable, and I like that. With a fish, because if you're not going to eat it, then just let it go and take a picture of it. But if you're talking about like deer or elk or caribou or whatever you're hunting for sustainability, then yeah, shoot it, skin it, stuff it, eat it, Hey, you got another super chat for $4.99.
I'm cracking up here. Thanks so much, Mike. We got MH9 Fish Tanks. Definitely check him out. If you guys haven't, definitely bookmark that. He's been putting on some good content with regard to, and he's been in the hobby for a long time. Very experienced, even in the saltwater environment. So definitely check it out. He's been doing a bunch of additions in a barn setting, which I'm super jealous about, and doing a whole fish room. So he's been taking you guys along with the journey. So thanks so much, Mike. I definitely appreciate it. Jeffro was saying Jeremy eats salads for breakfast. Don't let him kid you. So real quick, what he's referring to is he was in town. We did a collab. He ended up driving like 11 hours from Iowa to get to where I'm at here in Michigan. Took a bit longer because of delays and traffic, construction, all that. And one of the mornings we end up going for breakfast, like a late breakfast, and I end up getting a salad. So it's harder for me. And I did have meat on it though. So I'm pretty sure I had chicken on that salad. But yeah, he gave me a hard time about it because I don't burn off enough calories, and that discourages me a lot. If people have been following me on YouTube from when I first started to even up until just a few months ago, if you pay close enough attention, you can definitely see, especially I'm now dropping, but I put on because of all the medications I was on. I literally put on in less than like 6 months because of the meds. I'm not on them anymore because of the weight gain. End up gaining over 20 pounds. And then from when I first started on YouTube, I went from 170, but that was one extreme to the next, keep in mind. And anybody that doesn't understand what I'm talking about, you just have to go back. I'm not going to explain my history again, but yeah, I went from like about 170 to up until just a few months ago to almost 220. And that was very discouraging for me. So yeah, needless to say, you can poke fun, but I gotta have those salads.
What's really funny is Michael from the UK can go from the top of his country to the bottom of his country, and it takes like an hour and a half. And you're just talking about your buddy who went from Iowa to Michigan, right? Or
Yeah.
Illinois.
Yeah.
And that's like 11 hours, and that's only like this much of the country. You talk about going from like Massachusetts or Boston to like friggin' California. It's like 2 to 3 days travel, and Mike can bum over all his country in like, half a day.
Right on.
He can visit every part of his country.
That's insane.
In like a couple hours.
That's crazy. So Mr. D is wondering. All right, I want to get to this before he ends up taking off. If you're still listening, says I need to get off from here, Jeremy. How do I get you my address? If you need to get me any information, I'm not sure on the address. What that would be in regard to, but yeah, I mean, if it's with regard to shipping or whatever the case might be, just email me, which is sergeant.tank@yahoo.com. The email is in the About section on my main YouTube channel. But yeah, that would be the easiest way. So, and forgive me if I'm kind of behind here. You might have already messaged me at one point or another, and I probably just forgetting that conversation. How James Wells is wondering how hard it is to keep fish that you keep in the wild. So if you're talking about native species, I'll let you take it away. Do you have any native species right now currently?
I do not. I would love to keep native bass, perch, pumpkin seed, kivers, minnows, friggin' all the New England species, but unfortunately it's illegal. That's another nice super chat from Keith.
Yeah, thank you so much, Keith.
Good job, guys. Hey, keep those super chats going, because I got to tell you, I got about 6 minutes, and then I got to call it, because I got shit to do. No offense.
You got to get her done.
I got schedules, and I also would love to watch like something funny or Sports Center or something before I go to bed.
Got to end on that note. Yeah.
Let's get these super chats. We got like couple minutes left. Super chat the crap out of this. Let's go. Come on, folks. This is what keeps us YouTubers going. If you're watching and you like this, support the channel. And this is what keeps us going to do this every single night.
So what was funny is it's making me think about there was one comment that was made and it was a trolling comment, but I found it was humorous and I wanted to engage because the way any moderators know me here on this channel, so we'll end kind of on a funny semi rant, but more of a funny note.
I like funny and rants, so this is
it's a
gonna be great.
combination. People are gonna laugh because they know my personality. Have been following me from day one. I was like, gloves are off all the time. I didn't care. I was trolling the trolls, really playing more mental and mind games from that point of view because of my background. So it's very easy to do that if I want to. But there was a comment that was made. I think it was along the lines of, "This was awkward," and that was it. It was like, oh, it's when I was on your channel doing the live stream. I think I had a drink in my mouth. I was looking at the comments, and I almost spit out my drink. I found it that humorous. It was the most ridiculous thing like ever. Like that was it. Usually, you know how people when they're trolling, they'll usually go in a little bit more detail, but no, it was just like simple, sweet, to the point. That was awkward. Like, okay. If you don't like it, it's called knobs or buttons. Just go ahead and pick a different channel.
Yeah.
It's like a radio station. I tell people all the time that want to complain about what they're listening to. It's like it's called buttons for a reason. Just go ahead and turn to something else if you don't like it. But
well, anybody out there that is watching that has a YouTube channel, when you get disrespectful or people that don't like your content, which is perfectly, you know, not everybody is going to like what you're doing. You just say, thanks for watching. That's all. That's all I ever do. That's my reply to every nasty comment. Thank you for watching. Because I'm not for everybody. You're not for everybody.
Exactly.
You know? That's why there's different channels. Flip the station.
Absolutely. All right. So I can't quit YouTube still. Thinks I'm fake because of $100. Right. Thanks so much, Candy, for sharing the link. Thank you guys again for the super chats. I definitely appreciate it. If you guys are just popping in here, definitely thank you. Aquaball said, "Hey guys, what's up? How you doing?"
Aquaballs? Is there an Aquaballs? That is an awesome name.
Yep.
Aquaballs. I love it. I can't even see it. I'm looking at the chat. I cannot see an Aquaballs. Oh, there it is. Hey guys, what's up? From Aquaballs. That is awesome.
I will never think. Oh, Danks is saying I'll never think a loser. All
right. Let's close it down. I'm ready for bed.
So sad I missed this. All right, so no more questions, you guys. Do you want to close it out? Why don't you close it out? I'm going to let you close it out. So let me flip the camera back over to you. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations to Priscilla and then Mr. D's Tank some more with the My Aquarium Box giveaway. It was an impromptu thing. I had no idea. So thank you again for Mike for joining me, and I will just let you close it out.
Okay, awesome. Yep, guys, get a hold of, put the email in. We'll get those boxes out to you. I would love to thank this channel. I love this channel. Sergeant Tank, you know, subscribe to him, show support, and show support to the community. If you have something good to put out, put it out. If not, hopefully people will like you anyway, like they like me for some god-awful reason. That's all I got to say. It's late, and
I know
I'm ready for bed.
Yep. All right, you guys. So with that being said, as always, stay encouraged. Keep on keeping on. Happy fishing. We'll talk to you guys right back here on the next one.
Cheers.